Roy Price is now the former CEO of Amazon Studios following accusations that he sexually harassed a producer for one of the series on Amazon. Isa Hackett spoke to The Hollywood Reporter recently and told them about her experience getting sexually harassed by Roy Price. And immediately after the accusations and immediately after the report came out, Amazon Studios suspended Roy Price, and he has since resigned from the position. Now, just to give you a refresher, Hackett told The Hollywood Reporter last week that in 2015, Price allegedly propositioned her in a cab on the way to an Amazon party, but she told him she has a wife and children. He allegedly told her, "You will love my dick," he said, according to Hackett, who relayed her account to multiple individuals in the hours after the alleged episode. Two people corroborated that account to The Hollywood Reporter. Hackett says Price did not relent in the cab or once they arrived at the Amazon party, so he continued harassing her. As she talked with other executives, she says that Price stepped close to her ear and loudly said anal sex. So he has resigned, he has stepped down. I haven't seen a statement from him, I haven't seen any admission from him, but nonetheless, the fact that he's no longer working there is a victory for not only Hackett, who is producing the series Man in the High Castle, but also for other women who would have to deal with him as the head of Amazon Studios.
I mean, to say that it's poor judgment at least is understating it. She says, "No, thank you, I have a wife." He goes, "You'll love my dick." Probably not, probably not. Okay, now this was unsolicited and it is clear sexual harassment. You hold a position of power over her. You could greenlight future projects or not. She told you she's not interested. You're still pursuing it and in a kind of a gross way, to say the least. And she's told you she's got a wife. She's like, "Oh, good point." On the other hand, anal sex. Okay. I mean, if you weren't worried about the sexual harassment, one, you should be. Two, I don't know if, look, I don't even want to get into whether he was drunk or not. It doesn't matter, it's not an excuse. Really, really poor judgment.
It was poor judgment on his part, of course, but Hackett went and complained about this to Amazon and let them know what happened. So she did report it immediately. And what I found interesting was, she didn't hear anything from anyone, following her report. However, he was still employed. She just didn't see him around as much. She didn't have to work with him as closely as before. Amazon didn't suspend him until The Hollywood Reporter reported on this. So they were aware of these allegations well before The Hollywood Reporter reported on it. So look, I'm saying this because it's important to keep in mind that these types of things oftentimes do get reported to higher ups. They do get reported to human resources. And it seems like it either gets brushed under the rug or there might be a small Band-Aid placed over a gushing wound. And in this case, it seemed like they just put a Band-Aid over it until Hackett went public with what happened and people started criticizing Amazon for it.
Doesn't make a difference if there's a spotlight on something.
Of course.
Of course. And so that's why this movement is so important, because if you put a bigger spotlight on it, it's gonna make men who are predisposed to doing this a little bit more reluctant. And some small percentage of women as well. I knew someone who had actually worked here once. She told a story on air before about how she was sexually assaulted by a female executive. And so it's mainly a position of power. Yes, a hugely percentage of men do it, but either way, we gotta put a spotlight on it so people realize that they can't get away with it anymore. Support independent media. Come join us at the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.